shotgun here.
Turtle Rock Studios grabs what made Left 4 Dead work and retools Back 4 Blood as a spiritual successor. It's fun with friends, but a repetitive first few hours, a useless story, and a meaningless solo mode make Back 4 Blood feel tired. But once you're further in the campaign, you'll find the joy of shooting ridden with guns that feel great and a competitive multiplayer that is surprisingly good. Cards are the biggest difference with Back 4 Blood. You could carry a reasonable 15 cards, but there's plenty of times more than 15 were needed. It's an intricate system, and it's fun trying to figure out which ones will give you the best advantage. The game, known as the Director, is also throwing its own cards at you called corruption cards, so you have to think about what the Director might do to make your life harder and order your cards appropriately. It's a unique take on the loadout concept, and it works well in creating variation and different styles of play. Cleaners also double as cards, and they're great for creating compositions for your team's playstyle or building decks around their perks. Cleaners also have specific weapons, but most time I swap them out since they don't fit my playstyle. But every weapon is viable and they're fun to shoot. Just listen to how good they sound. You'll find attachments, or you can buy attachments that add bonuses to your weapons, but they mostly don't improve your gun much unless you get epic or legendary gear. And it's annoying when certain scopes have great bonuses, but zoom in too far. Aiming a gun with aim assist is an awful experience. It's hard to land headshots because it focuses on center mass. That's a no-no for a zombie shooter. Changing the settings hardly helps. So it's best to turn target snapping off. You'll be fine. Compared to the cleaners, the ridden look and sound disgusting, but it's hard to tell most of the special ridden apart while you're busy shooting, but it doesn't matter since running from them is always the best choice. You'll hear ridden laugh menacingly, and sleepers in particular sound extra disturbing. None of the ridden are particularly terrifying, but one stands out: the Hag.
Oh, okay. Let's do this. Hit the weak spot.
It's horrifying. Not every level contains the excitement or dread of running from a Hag though. Most of the earliest levels are boring. The entire game repeats the same loop where you find a few zombies, trigger a horde, back to finding a few zombies, and possibly trigger an accidental horde somewhere between. You'll explore cities, libraries, fields, and more, but they're ordinary environments and fail to add more tension beyond what the ridden bring. Turtle Rock even thought it'd be a good idea to fight a horde for 5 minutes. By the time you reach the second half of Act 2 though, you start to experience how intense fighting the ridden can get within environments and objectives that increase the pressure. Back 4 Blood presents itself like the characters and story matter, but that's not how it feels. Each level starts and ends with someone talking that's supposed to help contextualize what you're doing, but a lot of times names are thrown around like you should know who they are, or the ramifications of your actions, good or bad, have no weight. You mostly don't get any plot development, and you don't get any character development. Everyone feels like a glorified NPC. A big problem during the betas was how clumsy the bots were. Now, they're much more involved. They quickly get zombies off your back, they drop an endless supply of ammo, and they're good about healing you. They even revive you. They're so good that sometimes it's disappointing when a player takes over a bot. They're not godlike, they enjoy getting stuck on geometry and happily jump about for no reason, but they're not useless anymore. However, I believe the bots directly influenced Turtle Rock's frustrating decision with the solo campaign. During solo play, you can't earn achievements or supply points, and that decision seems to come down to how good the bots are. You use supply points to buy new cards, but bots make playing solo ridiculously easy. I tried playing Nightmare and purposely played fairly recklessly, and I almost finished the level. If I played recklessly with randoms, we wouldn't have reached the rooftop. Turtle Rock should have at least let us earn points and achievements while playing Veteran and Nightmare, since bots aren't a guarantee for success. Allowing a small amount of supply points while playing Recruit is also better than nothing. Even adding separate achievements for solo play and online play would be a fine solution. Otherwise, it's pointless to play solo. I have to take a moment to praise the accessibility options. I love that every audio cue is captioned, since listening is so important in Back 4 Blood. I can't speak for how effective the other options are, but Back 4 Blood does come with a lot of options. A strange inclusion that feels separate from everything else is the competitive multiplayer mode Swarm. But there's no question that it's fun. One team takes cleaners and the other side plays as the Ridden. Each round in a best of 3, you'll switch sides and you win by surviving as the cleaners while a swarm encroaches on the field like a battle royale. It's nice that neither side feels like they have a better advantage. The contrast between playing as Ridden and cleaners keeps each round fresh, especially since you can switch between Ridden when you die. Both teams can upgrade their respective sides to try to overwhelm their opponent, and it makes for some great back and forth combat and tactics. I did have one recurring thought concerning Back 4 Blood's aesthetic. It feels like a modern game with an old soul. The graphics look great in 4K and the frame rate is steady, but moments like this make the game feel older.
Bring them home if you can. If you can't, do a chapter.
None of these things affect gameplay or make the game worse, but it's those kind of details that help make an already hard to believe world a little less believable. It's amusing, but also distracting. But if the trade-off was to make blood splatter everywhere, then I guess that part is worth it. You'll find a lot of fun in Back 4 Blood. Turtle Rock Studios managed to take something that was old and give it enough of a touch-up to make sure we recognized it, but played with it differently. It's fun to hop on with your friends and blast away the zombies and compete to potentially take out the cleaners, but you have to get past the first half of the game to get to the best parts. It doesn't help that the story gives you nothing to cling to, but once you make it further, the tension and excitement kick in. But sadly, playing solo hardly gives you anything like what you get playing online. Back 4 Blood gets a 75 out of 100. Thanks for checking out this review. Tap whatever thumb you'd like and subscribe for more reviews and previews of upcoming games. For anything else not featured here, check out gamingtrend.com.